the main thing for you to know is that you're going to get to hear about a product that's not only attracting doctors and those people in the frequency therapy space, but also those who are just health and wellness enthusiasts, those who are like, that have excelled in direct sales, and then just people that are looking for a way to have self-care and be more proactive with their health. So we have a large audience of people that this is attracting, but tonight we're going to get to hear and ask questions from some of those who are the most knowledgeable. Before we really dive into hearing from some of our doctors and medical professionals, we're going to play a couple of short videos, if you'll bear with us for about the next 4 to 5 minutes. And if you're new to this call, you're going to see what all the excitement is about.
I want to take a minute just to thank everybody for joining us this evening. This was one of our most popular calls, and I just want to thank all the doctors that show up on this call and for all their wonderful information that they'll be sharing tonight. So we do want to start with a couple of videos in case you're new here, and just to let you see what all the excitement's about. So let me just start those videos.
One of the greatest inventors of all time, Nikola Tesla, the genius who lit the world, once said, "If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration." Say you are listening to the radio in your car and do not like the music that you are hearing. What do? You change the frequency. What many people fail to realize is that we can take charge of our frequencies in the exact same way. We tend to reduce our body's anatomy down to a simplified version that consists of only flesh and blood. But everything on this planet, animals, plants, and water, are made of atoms, which produce, emit, and receive energy, which operates at a specific frequency. Everything, all our tissues, cells, organs, emotions, and thought patterns have their own unique electromagnetic fields, as do allergens, viruses, or bacteria. All things have a frequency, including you, the human body. You always want to be healthy, active, and balanced. That's what makes up Healy. With a quantum sensor that uses individually determined frequencies to stimulate specific areas of your body. Researchers like Dr. Carolyn McMacken and Nuno Nina have in their clinical practice the effect of tens of thousands of such frequencies studied and tested. The result of these decades of experience is now available to you, 144,000 gold frequencies all day, with an intuitive app that puts the future into your hands. Welcome to Healy World. It's not science fiction, it's science.
Well, now you can see what all the excitement is about with the Healy that's coming, like I said, to being shipped right now to doors all around the USA. We do want to show you our disclaimer here because we want to make sure that we're not making any specific health claims for any specific conditions, though we have tons and maybe thousands of testimonies from around the globe sharing just what frequencies can do for the cells in our body. And you're going to hear a lot more about that from our professionals. But without further ado, right now, I'm going to pass the mic over to someone who was kind of responsible for sharing with someone who shared with me. And so if it wasn't for people, learning about this information and being willing to pass it on because they want to share in the mission of Healy World, which is to impact the world with this technology, I wouldn't be here and I wouldn't have known about the Healy. So Dr. Jim Hayes, are you with us tonight on this call? There you are. Well, I want to give you kind of a proper introduction, but Dr. Jim is a medical doctor and he's on about every other one of these doctor calls because he is on the front lines, usually in the emergency room. But he was introduced to this by a gentleman you're going to hear from later on in the call, who is also a doctor. But Dr. Jim's, the lights came on for you, Dr. Jim, when you saw this technology. I want you to share a little bit about that and where you see the future of this frequency technology going and how we're just catching the front end of what is going to kind of be a new revolution. Over to you, Dr. Hayes.
Thank you, Sheila. Thank you, Terry. Welcome, everybody. People have heard my story, though some of you haven't. I was at a medical conference in January in Phoenix, and I actually had a booth with a device that was almost 6 figures to purchase that does what this medical device does, and I was shocked. I met Dr. Steve at his booth, and I said, "What are you selling?" And he said, I'm known as the Hollywood doctor. I treat most of the stars. I'm known as the quantum doctor. And do you know anything about frequency medicine? And I said, I don't think so. He said, well, you know about lasers, you know about things like that. But he says, I've been treating, and you'll hear from him later, but I've been treating patients for 30 or 40 years and teaching frequency medicine, frequency therapy all over the world in universities. I said, that's pretty cool. So he says, let me just show you this little device. Put your finger here. And he said, it will analyze your bioenergetic field. And I said, okay. So I put my finger there. And it said that I had 2 things. One was job stress. But working in a trauma center, that is definitely true. And then brain disunity. And I said, what is that? I laughed. And he said, that's probably your brain asking for better frequencies to unify and become better efficient for you, to work better for you, because you probably multitask, which is definitely true. And I like to work hard and play hard and have a lot of fun with friends. So he then did it, and he put the little electrodes. He says, I'm going to push the programs at the cloud because it has all these programs built in it to treat you for those 2 things. And so he put the little bracelets on my wrists, and he said, do you feel that? You should feel little tingles. I did not. And he said, well, you're probably dehydrated. Go drink a liter of water and come back. And I did. About 30 seconds later, I could feel that tingles. And that's all that happened, about 15 minutes worth of programs. We went out to dinner that night with some new friends, and I left the next day, said goodbye, kept in touch with him. He gave me lots and lots of videos about frequency-specific microcurrent and has really educated me. I've spent hundreds of hours, and everybody can access the same things that I learned from. And so the strangest thing, I've learned that some people with just 1 treatment whether it's any condition or any disease, with one treatment, with the old machines that Dr. Steve has used and many doctors around the world have used, with 1 or 2 treatments, and everything is gone because the body optimizes its frequencies, its immunity, its ability to perform. It actually de-ages. And so I weighed 176 then, which I wasn't fat, but my high school weight was 156. And I don't know how in the world Healy knew that I needed to get back to my ideal body weight, but I have not changed a thing. My energy level is above the roof. I'm at my ideal body weight, and my functioning at work and handling multiple tasks at the same time has markedly improved. So this device is absolutely incredible. It was discovered by Tesla in the 1900s. I mean, they used his understanding of frequencies, and then they treated thousands and thousands of patients. The government then suppressed it in the 1930s. It was rediscovered in the 1990s. Tens of thousands of people have been treated all over the world, and this is now that same similar device that is in your smartphone, which I'm amazed. And so basically, just to personalize a little bit, I have a stepson who's 18. He's 6'2". He's nonverbal autistic, and he understands everything. He actually communicates some, but he can't wait to get the Healy, which he calls the zapper, because we have to give him sleep medicine at night because he just won't sleep. And I saw a testimony the other day from the Australians. This lady was saying, and showed her son, he's about 9 years old, and she says, we just got our Healy and we're going to see. And then about 3 hours later, she put another one, and he was sound asleep. Jameson saw that, and he got really, really, really excited. So I can't speak too much about this, and it's the most incredible medical device I've ever seen. And it uses cranial electrical stimulation, optimizes immunity. But the way I see it, because I'm on the front line in emergency medicine, people are asking for pain relief. They're asking for anxiety relief. They're asking to come in with acute injuries. It helps all that and more. Just one last thing. I looked up and I saw that the Cleveland Clinic, and we have an FDA clearance, and it's very specific, but it involves pain, it involves anxiety, it involves acute and chronic pain. So look what they've been treating at the Cleveland Clinic and then other places around the world: shingles, burns, kidney stones, asthma, irritable bowel syndrome, disc injuries, fibromyalgia, diabetic neuropathy, neuromas, tendinopathy, inflammation, swelling of tendons, acute and chronic long-term musculoskeletal injuries, acute and chronic neuropathic pain, chronic fracture and bone pain, arthritis, torticollis. Someone comes in like this, they slept wrong, I have to give a medication, but it treats that too. The head is tilted to one side, severe spasm, disc injuries, viscerally referred pain, concussions, headaches, as well as plantar fasciitis. So it basically treats all conditions and all diseases. So Sheila, thank you for giving me the opportunity to share.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Jim Hayes. I really do appreciate you.
Well, tonight's my first night learning about it, but I have been a homeopathic practitioner for over 35 years. So I've been using energy medicine and yoga and lifestyle medicine for probably 45 years. It's the way I work with my clientele, and it sounds really nice. I mean, it would be lovely to have something that a client can actually take home and own ourselves. I mean, I work on that through diet, lifestyle, through the epigenetics of everything. And yes, getting to the root cause of an issue certainly is great. And energy medicine is awesome. I mean, sometimes I'll just write the name of a homeopathic remedy on a piece of paper, and my client can feel better just in that particular, just the energetics of the word, of the name. So I'm interested to learn more about this particular product, the cost and how we get it, and all the rest. I would love to learn a lot more about it. Sounds wonderful.
Well, thank you for sharing. And we do have another presentation coming up tomorrow night, and the person who invited you here can send over a full recorded presentation as well with all that information. And we're just so glad we're attracting professionals like you that already has a heart for healing. And I know several of my friends, and I have some guests on tonight, are actually team members that are into homeopathic type of healing therapies, and I'm just so excited, and I went to them very first because I knew they would catch the vision of the Healy product and the opportunity. Thank you so much, Amy.
Can I ask you one question?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So this machine or this item has come onto the market since just a couple of days ago?
Okay.
Released in the United States on May 1st, but it's been used all through the world, in Europe and Asia and other countries for the last. But you need to realize that this device is not a new device, because it's based on the original device, which is a doctor's-only professional device called the Time Waver, that has been in Germany for the past 14 years, used by more than 2,500 German MDs and practitioners with over 500,000 patients. So it's been tested and proven over time. And what basically they did, which was the dream I had, because I have a device similar to the Time Waver, they were able, after the last 4.5 to 5 years, I think it cost them $20 million of research, but they were able to shrink the components down into a product that's the size of the palm of your hand. And then with the benefit of using the cloud that we have now, to be able to store all the 144,000 unique frequencies in a German secure medical cloud, and then with the attachment of the quantum sensor, which can fit in the palm of your hand, to your cell phone, which now has the apps that you need. There's a triangle effect that's made. Through the artificial intelligence, we're able to scan ourselves first, the information goes into the cloud, instantaneously comes down, tells us which programs, and then we can deliver it right from our phone. So it's remarkable. You can't hear.
Where's the place now? Now that there's the COVID thing and the coronavirus, what's happening with any sort of kind of experiments with people and clientele and patients using this machine with this particular challenge today?
Well, that's an interesting question. And the reason why it's an interesting question, because the medical team that puts together all the programs and the frequencies that are used got together about a month ago when this whole situation started coming down the path, and they said, we need to do something about this. We need to protect all of our people that have this device. And so they got together, figured out the specific frequencies that were needed, came up with a whole different program, which is, as people get it in the next couple of days, it's the one that's called the Bioenergetic Balance Program. It's a unique, specific, standalone program. And they delivered it to everyone's Healy for free. So when they turned on the Healy the next day, all of a sudden it said, program update, this program came up, and they suggested that everyone that uses the Healy runs this program at least once a day.
That have COVID.
I'm not going to address any specific medical conditions by name because we're not allowed to do that.
Okay, so what about
Basically,
I'll
it
tell you that
optimizes the immunity for any condition, and we cannot say COVID-19. That makes total sense to everyone, I'm sure.
right?
that addresses hopefully your question. They're on it, and they have tons and tons of new programs that they shared with me privately a couple of days ago that are coming down the pike real quickly. Just to let people know, they're going to have a whole animals, dogs, cats, horses. They're going to have a program for learning a language in 6 weeks. They're going to have a program for anti-aging, which includes the frequencies for the stem cells of all the organs in the body. They're coming out with a program that has every single emotion and how it relates to every organ and the underlying cause of all disease. So all of these programs are coming up, specific programs for children, and they'll be showing up every couple of months, and you'll have the opportunity, if you want to include those programs into your database. We all have the same device regardless of which edition we purchase. It's just the number of programs we choose to get, and we can include in it that allows us to treat other aspects. So hopefully that,
Okay, thank you.
you're very welcome.
Thank you, Amy.
What type of doctor are you, Doc Steve?
I have a DMD, NMD, OMD, and ND. So my degrees are in nutritional medicine, orthomolecular medicine, naturopathic, and I actually started out at the University of Pennsylvania in the 70s in the field of dental medicine. You know, I'm the type of guy that I just am always, studying and taking courses and teaching and whatever. And I just, over the years, I felt that those programs, that postdoc degrees that I accumulated were all important for where I was heading towards and the things that I was doing. So I continue to learn all the time. So I'm up to date with exactly all the technology, i.e. the Healy.
We know that Healy's got you intrigued, so head on over to ChooseHealy.com to see tons of Healy testimonials, hear reviews on the Healy technology, and how to easily get your hands on this game-changing and disrupting opportunity to support you, your family, your community, your clients, and your patients. We look forward to you scheduling a time to experience the Healy Resonance device from wherever you are. So head on over to ChooseHealy.com to receive all the information you require and to schedule your Healy Resonance experience today. You'll be glad you did. Get ready for the new paradigm of affordable energy medicine. It's here today and waiting for you. ChooseHealy.com.